Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since I've done an air suspension install. Now I'm pretty excited about this because I have never worked on a car like this before, which is a Toyota GR86, and this thing is pretty sick. I'll do a walk around right now, well actually tomorrow because it's pretty late right now. It's 9 at night. I just got home and I just started checking everything out to make sure everything is there. And the reason that you want to do that is because you want to make sure you have all the parts, you have all the fittings before you begin, because if you don't have something, it can delay the process by a few days, because sometimes getting these parts can take a while to get shipped out, especially if it's out of state, different area. It could take some time. If you're lucky and there's a shop near you that sells air suspension fittings and stuff like that, cool. But the ones that I have in my area, they're closed on Saturday and Sundays, and that's usually when I can go ahead and work on cars. So let me go ahead and show you guys everything that you need to get started. Alright, so here is mostly everything out of the packaging, just to make sure everything is there. As you can see, those are all of the boxes that it came with. Boxes on top of boxes. So as you can see, you have the two front struts, you have the two rear struts, you have the main harness right here. It has this huge plug, which is how you know it is a main harness. Then you're going to have your water trap, which is this right here. You're also going to go ahead and have your little spanner wrenches, which are these. And then there's a larger one over there. And then it looks like he has some adjustable arms, which are those right there. I'll install them, but I can't do an alignment. So he's going to have to take his car to get an alignment as soon as everything gets installed. And then he has his second harness right here for his compressor. You do not need that if you do not have two compressors. If you only have one, you just need the main harness. Just an FYI. Here's both of the compressors. So just make sure you got two if you have two harnesses. Then you got the tank right here. You also have the management, which is really important, which is this right here. Now, this is pretty interesting. I wanted to show you guys this. I have never seen Airlift do this before. And they must be doing this because of issues that they're having with management fittings that go bad over time. So I don't know how they were installed before. I don't know if they were just already embedded into the management itself. But now you can see that they're screwed in this specific management right here, which I have never seen. All the other ones have been embedded. So I can just twist this off. I just put these in there by hand. They were actually in a separate package. You want to make sure you have your controller as well, which is this right here. And then you also want to make sure that you have the connections for the main power sources, which is this right here. You should actually have a second one as well. This is crucial as well. This helps in cutting the line straight. You do need two if you have two compressors of these red ones right here. Okay, it was actually in this packaging right here for the second air compressor harness right there. So it looks like we got everything. Now what I recommend that you guys go ahead and do prior to starting this install is start putting the tank together, the lines that go to the airbags itself, which are these right here. Make sure that you can put them in there, and also make sure that all the fittings are available. These are going to go on the ends of each one of those steel lines right there. So you need to make sure that if you have 3/8 lines, you also have 3/8 fittings. If you did not get 3/8 fittings and you have the little small ones, which are these over here, and you have 3/8 lines, 3/8 fittings to the management, it's not going to work. And then you're going to have to wait to get those fittings. These are the small ones. See how small they are? And then here's the line. The line, you also need to make sure that it's 3/8 fitting if you got a 3/8 setup. Now, if you got a 1/4 setup, airlines need to be 1/4, connection needs to be 1/4, management needs to be 1/4. Anything is not correlating together, then you don't have the correct parts. Let's go ahead and start off by doing the tank, airbags, and then we will go ahead and go from there. Alrighty, my friends, today is the next day and we got everything assembled. For the most part, you have all the lines connected, everything separated so I know where it goes. And then this is kind of what we're thinking about doing with the trunk setup. So these are actually going to sit something like this. You want some a little bit more separated. Just going to connect to that right there. And then this is going to be for the water trap. So we're going to have to mount the water trap somewhere like on the side. And this one is going to go right there as well. And then we're going to make holes in the carpet along with that thing over there to go ahead and mount this up. So I had to mount up the compressors, this manifold mount, the tank, and we have to make a hole for the wires to go down so it looks clean. It doesn't look all sloppy just throwing it somewhere. So I'll most likely make the holes like right there. That should be it. That should be pretty simple. For the holes, for the lines itself, I was thinking about either doing it in the back or doing it right here. And we went ahead and plugged up this hole because we're not going to be using it. And then this is an attachment to connect here because this is a smaller thread pitch than what's on the tank itself, so it's not going to fit. So you need to add these attachments to make that work. You could turn the tank around, but then you're not going to be able to actually mount this because, as you can see, it doesn't reach that far to be able to go down and mount. So you have to be mindful of how you're doing everything and making sure it all works. Next up, what we're going to go ahead and do is start running the lines inside the car. Once we get all that completed, then we can go ahead and lift the car, start jacking it up, and put all the struts in there to begin connecting everything together. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so here's the car right here. It is a Toyota GR86. And this thing is super clean. I really like how it looks, and I actually like the body style of this specific car. And with this 326 wing, that just makes it look really dope. Overall, really clean car. See right there the wing. That thing looks so sick. But here's his eye if you guys want to go ahead and follow him. F Visions. Yeah, it's pretty good fitment. From the looks of it, I think the rear is gonna sink in a bit. The front is gonna stick out a little bit more than the rear, so you shouldn't have any issues with clearance once he airs out. But overall, this thing is really dope. Look at that carbon fiber hood, the splitter, and I don't know if these are add-ons, if it comes like this. It looks like it's an add-on along with this. I've never seen this on this car before either, and that just looks really clean. Same thing with this over here. It looks like it's an add-on. I'm not really sure. I don't know too much about these cars. And this one is stick shift, as you can see right there. And I'm not gonna lie, his interior smells really good. He has that, what is that, black ice, I think? Yeah, black ice freshener. And overall, this car is really mint. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and start running everything. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is remove a bunch of the interior pieces. Once I have the inside done, then I can go ahead and begin jacking up the car, because then I know all the connections are there. So once I install the struts, if I need to air up the car for whatever reason just to get it up, then I can easily do that. Alright, so to remove this right here, I'm just grab my little tool, going along the seams and popping up just like that, so we don't break anything. Okay, there you go. Alright, so we got this off. We're gonna run the lines through the interior right here. Okay, we can fit it in there actually, so we should be okay. So we're gonna feed it through there, going down inside here, up there, and that's gonna be most of the lines. Alright, so this is everything that we need to run through the passenger side over here. So these need to be connected to the battery directly. This is going to go connected to the fuse, and this is the air line. On the other side, we're going to run the other airline, so we're not worried about running this one right there. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bunch them together. I'm going to wrap tape around it, and then I cut this with a really sharp angle. That way it's easy to push through the grommet once we get there. You could also use a wire to go ahead and, you know, drill a little hole or cut a little hole. I don't know where my wire is at. Should be somewhere around here. But I have a metal hanger wire that I push through. I could pull it through the hole or the grommet inside of the engine that we're going to put in the front where the battery's at. Alright, so I decided to actually remove the panel over there on the side because I wasn't liking how it was looking and how it was sitting. When I ran it through the middle right there, when you would push the seat up, it would like smash the lines, and I don't want it to keep doing that and eventually create a hole like in the airline, for example. So I removed this panel, put it right through the back where those wires are coming through. It's going all the way down right there. Remove this right here, pop this up, put it inside over there. So it's actually going on the bottom over there versus being on top because it's not going to fit. And then this is just going to go back over, pop in. And then this over here, see I ran all the way up there, going up. And then what I did right here is I went ahead and drilled a hole into the airline and ran my wire through. And this is the wire right here. It's a metal hanger wire. I made a hole in the airline so I can feed it through and pull it out, and it made it a whole lot easier to be able to do it like that, because if not, you're honestly going to end up struggling a lot. So there you can see, for example, hole in the airline, pull it through, because these airlines are really strong. So by pulling it with the wire, you're going to get it through this hole right here, especially because we have so many wires right now. You want to put all of them together. So we got everything, we're good to go. This side is officially done when it comes to like the wiring technically, and this is the hardest part, is just getting this through the grommet. But yeah, now I could just cut this section right here because obviously this is ruined, and then we're gonna cut it straight, start connecting everything right here. So I'm not gonna connect the wiring right now until I get the airbags installed and everything, so I can put the battery back in. Alright, so now we're removing the front strut. So far I've taken off a 12mm bolt that goes right here to this brake line. And then these are, I believe, 19mm right here. This is a 17mm. It'll make it a lot easier if you have an impact gun. If you don't, you can still break them off by hand. I had to get this one by hand right here to remove this link right here. And then I still got to remove this one, and then this whole thing's going to come off. The top is 12mm right there. I already removed those, so you can see it's loose. I just gotta remove this bottom one, and this whole thing should pop out. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Alright guys, so I'm finishing up the other side, installing everything in here. And I noticed something that I wanted to show you guys, because I was honestly tripping out for about 5 minutes because I have no idea like where this bolt came from and why it's not fitting. But I guess Toyota makes two separate bolts for the struts in the front. So as you can see, this one's a little bit more narrow. This one has a thick like bulge right here, and this does not fit in a specific way. See right there, doesn't fit there, doesn't fit there. It only fits in this top one right here to this hole. So I wasn't paying attention to that. I didn't notice it until I started putting everything back together, and I could not put this back in. So I had to put this one back in, but then I couldn't put this one in on both sides. So I was trying to figure out like where this bolt came from, and I had no idea that it does go here. It's just that this top one right here is larger, and it's made specifically to fit this right there. So yeah, just be aware of that so you don't get confused like I did. So we're gonna go ahead and lift it with your hand, put that through. Same thing with the other one, put that through. Put your nuts back on. Then you can put this back on right here, just like that. And everything has honestly been seamless. No issues with this install so far. Everything has been straightforward. Everything has fit appropriately, as you can see. Everything fits right there. Just gotta tighten this nut down here. And I gotta put this down there, which is what this bolt is for. I put it right here and tighten that down. I think it is 12 mil. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll tighten that right now. Alright, so everything's good. Now we just gotta tighten everything along with that up there. And then this side should be done as well. Like I said, I have one of these. Helps out a lot. And I'm gonna torque it down still. Make sure everything is tight. Alright guys, so I put the bracket right here. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. Nor this is gonna go anywhere towards the tire, so we're good. No need to add another bracket. I mean, you can like right here if you want to put this out of the way, but it's not gonna mess with anything to cause damage. So one is fine right there. So that's it. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Put the wheel back on, and this side is honestly officially done. And I tightened this down right here as well. I know this is not correct. He's gonna have to get an alignment to get that fixed, but it'll do for now. Alright, so we just finished the front on the GR86, and right now we're gonna go ahead and begin working on the trunk setup right here. So honestly, what I should have done is I should have done the rear first. That way I could jack up the rear and then finish everything up and then move to the front, but I didn't think about that until after I got to this point. So right now I need some extra jack stands, so I'm gonna wait later to get some extra ones. And then right now I'm just gonna focus on finishing this up. And as you can see, I already started marking my holes where they're gonna be at when we go ahead and drill it out to install the compressor, or not the compressor, the tank in the back. And I use toothpaste, honestly. It's a lot easier, it makes a mark, and you don't have to worry about having to make a complicated template in order to go ahead and mark exactly where the holes are gonna be at. Especially because this is fabric, it's hard to see, marks with the marker, and it's hard to get in there as well because the holes are right in that little, cutout. It's kind of difficult to get in there at an angle, so I prefer to use toothpaste right here. So I'm gonna drill those out, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and install the tank because that's not going anywhere. That's gonna stay there, so we don't have to worry about having to install it like after we install the compressor and everything. When you install the compressor, that's kind of difficult. I'm not gonna lie, because they're kind of heavy. You have to try to get them in there with the tank in there as well. So we'll see how everything works out. Alright, so now we're working on the back. We got to remove all 3 of these bolts right here. I removed this one as well to make it a little bit easier, but after you do that, it should come out pretty easily. And you got to remove the 2 bolts at the top, which are 14 mils. This one's also 14. I believe this is a 17, and this might be a 17 or an 18. I can't remember. Okay, it looks like it's just a 17. So both of these are actually 17s. So remove those, and then it'll allow it to come down. And that should really be it for the end. Now we just got to figure out where we're going to put the airline. I haven't got that far just yet, because I don't really know where I want to put it at. But we'll figure it out. Alright, now as for the airline, I found 2 grommets under the heat shield right here. So I went ahead and removed the 4 10 mils that hold the heat shield up. And I made a hole on the grommet right here. I know, look at my hands, how dirty they are. But we're pretty much done. That's like the last thing I honestly need. Gotta do this other side for the other one over there on the airline, and that's it. So I used a knife. I have this blade right here, and then I have this knife. This knife is working pretty good, so that's what I used just to make a an X mark, and then push the airline through. So there they are right there, both of them. Gonna connect airlines and then move it to the top so we can connect it to the management. So all we really need is the wiring harness and everything to connect that. Put this back together where it goes, and then we should honestly be all set. Alright, so here is the back now. I'm making my holes for the compressors. As you can see, there's 2 right there, 2 up there. There's 4 right here for the manifold mount, and then 4 more right there, and then 1 more on top of those 4 holes for the wires that are gonna go through, so it looks clean. So that's pretty much it. I made a 1 hole at the top for all of the airlines to go through right here. This should be big enough, but if not, we can just make it a little bit bigger. But yeah, let me mount everything up so you guys can see the end result. Alright guys, so there's the final result, how everything's gonna kind of look. Gonna put the manifold right there in the middle, but it's looking pretty clean. Nice simple setup. And then this manifold, I gotta turn the plate around, but you can see that it's gonna look something like that. I'm gonna sit right there. The water trap goes connected to this, and then it attaches somewhere else. We just gotta connect that, and that's honestly it. And then this piece right here that we assembled earlier is gonna go attached to that end right there. And this is like a release valve. So if something happens, you can go ahead and push either the bottom portion right here. You can open this cap, release the air, or you can pull on this and it'll release the air as well. Alright, let's go ahead and now start working on the wiring, which is of course the fun part of this whole project. Split these in half, just like that. Okay, and then green fuse goes in there. You should have 2 of these. Here's the other one. There. Green fuse. Okay. And then cut this in half. Okay. Open it. Put the fuse in there. Make sure it goes all the way in. Alright, so we got that. Now expose the wires. Just like that. Both sides. Just like that. Just cut myself. Okay. So now these are going to go on the ends of each one. And then you're going to have these that go at the end of each one as well. So one here, one there, one of these there, one of these there. So put it in there. Try to kind of crimp it a little bit. Okay. And then smash it. Make sure you smash it good. You don't want this to get loose on you. Alright, so that's good right there. And one of these on the end. I think this is a little bit too long. Okay, that should be perfect. Alright, so here I am at the back of the trunk. As you can see, I ran all my lines right there. Put them in the front. Gonna connect them to the manifold. We gotta cut a few of them because they're way too long. But I also got the main harness right here, going through there. And this is not gonna be visible because this is gonna close. And you won't see it at all, so let's go ahead and start connecting these to the manifold. Alright, now we connected everything here. So this is front left, front right, rear right, tank, exhaust. So this line right here I put on the outside, just like we used those grommets earlier, and it's gonna make the car loud when you air out. And what we're gonna do for the tank portion is this is gonna go connected right here. Yeah, so here it tells you the way the air should be going from the tank. So the tank goes here, the manifold goes here. This we're gonna mount it like somewhere right here, and we're gonna use this with a screw. So it's gonna mount something like that. It's gonna sit right there. Alright, so let me go ahead and just cut this really quick. Doesn't need to be too long, as you saw. It's gonna go right over there. here, and then this is gonna go over here to the tank. Okay, and then this goes to that. So okay, we do need to make this shorter for sure. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it like that for now, just to test it. Alright, so this pink wire right here, I'll strip it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this fuse right here. It's ignition 2. I'm gonna plug it in there. So we're gonna grab this. Okay, there you go. Alright, plug it in right there. Alright, perfect. Barely fits right there. I think it is kind of hitting that right there, but it's all the way in, so we're good. Alright, let's put this cover back on. It should close. There you go. Alright guys, so we're all done. Now, moment of truth, we're gonna go ahead and connect this back right there, tighten it, and then let's try to turn it on. Alright, so this is gonna be our first startup. And right now, from what I can see, the control is not on, which means that it's connected to a fuse so far that we know does not turn on when the car is not on. So, sick, we got power so far. Okay, we're gonna do English. Because the car's not on the floor right now, we're not gonna go ahead and do this just yet. We're gonna do the calibration after. Alright, so far so good. Let's go ahead and try to connect the other compressor. So if you don't calibrate it yet, you can still do the other compressor in the meantime. There you go. So at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do is wait for it to fill up. Once it fills up, we're going to test each bag to make sure there's no leaks. And then after we do that, then we can go ahead and actually put the car on the floor. We don't want to put it on the floor just yet until we can make sure every bag is working appropriately. Alright, so far I put air in one bag right here. Front right, so this one's good. This one you can see has no air, it's kind of squishy. Let's put some air in it. As you can see, it's not squishy anymore. It has air holding pressure. Let's try the rear. This one has air as well, so it's working. Okay, we got one more bag. Alright, I heard this one go up as well, so we should be good. Okay, now we can go ahead and add air to all the bags to an even amount and then put it on the floor. and you want to check for any obvious leaks. So right now they're all holding pressure, which is a really good sign. So that means we have no leaks. Alright guys, the car is now officially done. No more leaks. I fixed the one in the back. It was just the fitting that was not like all the way tight. I just tightened a little bit. It's not leaking anymore. And then here's the trunk setup, how I did everything. This is gonna go up here. The owner just needs to get those extra bolts and nuts right there to hold it in place. Once he does that, he should be good. So it's gonna look pretty sick. It's gonna be up like that. And then this we can cut shorter. It doesn't need to be this long, but it has extra lines, so might as well use it. But it's gonna be there. And then the water trap is over there on the hanger, just like I explained earlier. So it's a pretty clean setup. Once he mounts this up there, it's gonna look really sick. But yeah, overall install, I would say this is one of the easiest ones I've done. Well, the 350Z is easy as well. The hard part is like doing the bottom portion of that riv nut in the back. This, you don't have to do that at all, so it makes it a whole lot easier. Let me close this so you guys can see the whole car. But yeah, looks pretty sick. Looks clean. The front, I did have to adjust a lot to get it to go that low. I honestly had to adjust to over 2 inches, so I'd highly recommend doing that prior to installing the kit, is adjusting it at least, I would say 2 inches, because before it was over the tire, it was honestly like about this big of a gap. You can see the whole tire, so you can see it went down a lot. But yeah, that's going to conclude the video, guys. I will go ahead and link down the guy's information here, so you can go ahead and check him out if you guys want to follow him. Really sick build. I know there's a few out there that are pretty clean as well, but this one's pretty well modified. I really like the front of these cars. The back also looks sick. And I love how he did all these modifications to it with the black accents. Makes it look really clean. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and end the video right there. Hopefully this helped you out if you're interested in installing Airlift or air suspension on your GR86. Super easy, very simple. Honestly, one of the easiest installs that I have done. If you want to go ahead and check out the guy and his Instagram, I'll leave it somewhere around here. And if you guys want to go ahead and follow me, I'll go ahead and leave mine as well somewhere around here in this area as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.